Thank you very much, Lori, and welcome to the presentation, everybody. I am just tickled pink to get back in the saddle here. It's been a while since I've had the opportunity to present to you one-on-one, just talking to you, just us. So I'm tickled pink to be back on the road with you. So today's presentation, get over here to the next slide. Oops. Today's presentation, of course, is brought to you by IMAGINiT. That's the company, of course, that I'm part of. I manage the professional services throughout North America. Just for those of you who aren't familiar with us, this slide deck just reinforces the fact that ImagineIT is part of an umbrella company called RAND Worldwide, which also our sister companies RAND 3D and Ascent play a part in the manufacturing world, as well as all the other disciplines that are out there with civil engineering and architects and all that kind of stuff. So design solutions all over the place are what we do. So we're getting ready to jump into a slide deck here that hopefully will start a conversation that'll help you transform the way you, if not your business, the way you think about your business. And that's called, we're talking about standardizing on Autodesk and Autodesk's product line. For forever, we've been involved with Autodesk's technology from a design and engineering standpoint. Right, that's what we've done. But Autodesk's portfolio has expanded from not only the design process, the art part of things, but all the way down to the maker strategy, all the way down to getting things out the back door from the manufacturing strategy. So there's where we come up with the art to part signature that we're going to talk about with this particular presentation. Again, this is a conversation starter. We're not gonna solve everybody's individual issues here. This isn't a solutioning session yet. What I want to do is reinforce with you that Autodesk's commitment to the manufacturing process, of course, ImagineIT's commitment to the manufacturing process, and then have a conversation with you about your specific requirements and your specific needs a little bit later on. So when we talk about standardization, this is, of course, this is the goal of everybody all the time, trying to think how we can streamline our process. And a lot of this has to do with standardization. So even in the advanced manufacturing space, it thrives when a shop can share workloads easily, automate frequent process steps, and even simplify management of complex processes. So that's why standardization is the goal everywhere. We're trying to smooth out the way everything works. And when we do standardize, all of a sudden we realize specific benefits. With the skills gaps, we can address those because we're going to capture and share best practices across the entire team, right? Somebody will have a process that works much more efficiently than everybody else, and we can capture that and distribute that throughout the team. Again, that's the power of standardization. When it comes to replacing standalone processes that result in fragmented workflows, those are all over the place. We see them all the time. Now, all of a sudden, we're starting to address process efficiencies. We see, variations in not just the CAD platforms that are out there, but how people are using it. And then especially in the manufacturing side of things, where they're talking about different technologies all over the place. Sometimes 2 or 3 different solutions for the exact same problem, right? Of course, automation is in play when we fully integrate systems to eliminate redundancy. Okay, let's take a simple play here. Let's talk about a design who hands off the model to the manufacturing environment, and that manufacturing environment replicates that design to generate the tool paths and the code necessary to manufacture that part. Lots of replication happens there, and automating that process, of course, eliminates a speed bump and all the other red flags that pop up when something like that happens. And of course, streamlining training, support, and just the management of different processes. We see a simplification in the way we do everything, which of course is a pretty instant ROI there. So the power of one is our target. What we're after is the standardizing of a process. So as products become more sophisticated and more complex, and new materials are being applied and new technologies, all of this is starting to come around. It's all starting to make our jobs tougher to do. It's challenging what we do today, and it requires traditional manufacturers, and we're involved with folks like yourself every day, but it challenges us to think about how we're going to do things in the future in order to compete. Traditional views of the way the manufacturing process works are changing, from what is commonly thought of to something that will align with the future. So the days of this is what we've always done and this is the way it works for us now need to be rethought, because that is changing. Things are becoming better suited to human needs, more customized, more configurable, more connected, and ultimately more value to us. So the products we made are changing. In the realm of making, new technology is being introduced in the form of processes, materials, and the way information is gathered. Again, thoughts, things that you need to think of for the future. And finally, the work we actually do is changing as the processes of design and making are converging. We're seeing industries themselves converge like never before. Companies, teams, and supply chains are just increasingly interwoven in this connected world. Years ago, just about everybody kind of did their own thing, very siloed in the products they made from, other than buying nuts and bolts and screws, things like that. Nowadays, it literally takes a village to manufacture a part, because specialized industries are converging to build a product today where they just didn't do that in the past. So why Autodesk? And this is a couple of slides talking about why is Autodesk even a player in the manufacturing world. So I can honestly say this: Autodesk has identified these systemic issues across manufacturing, has been attacking them. For several years now, we've been talking about the studies that are out there called the future of making things. You guys have probably all heard the hype, the blurb, the marketing, the strategy behind all that. Autodesk invested a significant amount of money trying to figure out what the future is going to be by looking at the past and understanding where it's going to go. Lots of investment in trying to figure that out. So let's take a look at some of the history of Autodesk and see what they've done about understanding the future. So Autodesk's mission around this whole future of making things can be traced back like over 35 years ago. AutoCAD disrupted everything from the design, drafting, and engineering world. It all changed, right? We all got off drawing boards with Mylar, electric racers, all that kind of stuff to get into this new technology called AutoCAD. I'm wondering how many questions I'm going to get about exactly what that picture is by the younger generation in this audience today. So I've got the over and under on this in my personal notebook here. So, however, Autodesk has foreseen the convergence of manufacturing and design, and over the years made all kinds of investments in manufacturing. So it's not just about lines and arcs and circles. Investment in the manufacturing strategy as they work toward what the future of making things truly is. So just take back 14 years, just 14 years. That's a long time in technology worlds. It's not so long in the manufacturing world, but just 14 years, Autodesk has invested in all kinds of technologies to complete this whole portfolio of manufacturing solutions. And not just in fringe technology. I mean, industry leaders like Moldflow, CFD Design, HSM Works, Delcam, NetFab, these were all cutting edge industry leader technologies that Autodesk has invested in and rolled them into your portfolio, stuff that we can use to assist in our manufacturing of the future. They've also allowed Autodesk to provide a complete workflow to customers around the world. So we can start from the very, very early stages of concept all the way through design, engineering, simulation, prototyping, all the way to where we're putting things out of the back door with the same technology and the same solution provider. Those investments provide the technology to support advanced and emerging manufacturing processes. And there's a difference in the two. So you might not be emerging, but you might be very advanced. And you might be looking at being advanced by investing in emerging strategies, right? So all of those are supported, from generative design to metal additive to clay milling, all of that kind of stuff. And it's all Autodesk. It's pretty impressive when you think about the portfolio that's available to you. Autodesk has over 600 manufacturing professionals that are in software development. So that investment, it is a commitment to manufacturing like nobody else has. So not only is Autodesk a software provider, but in case you didn't know it, they also focus on driving technology because they operate these innovation centers, these machine hubs, these machine shops all around the world, several of them all over the world. And what they do is they use those as a pressure test for their solutions with real customers and real projects. It's almost a testing ground, a nurturing ground for what products are in demand, where they need to focus, where they need to look at, what other new emerging markets, what is out there, what is the demand, okay? When you consider all of that, with all of that resources, all of the ones listed here, all of the clients, and then 40 specialized make partners, of course, we're very proud to be one of those make partners in this scenario. When you consider all of those resources, there's an army of people focused on delivering those solutions to you guys, to the industry, and making you successful with it. So we've spoken about how Autodesk has invested long-term in the past, today with current solutions, and in the short-term future. But in reality, Autodesk is passionate about helping you take advantage of the opportunity for better. We, meaning Autodesk and ImagineIT, will want to help you connect with your workflows, automate your processes, and network with your entire supply chain. And to do this, there's a vision of a single platform with your data at the center. That's that standardization play we're talking about, right? That single platform provides a seamless connection with your design team and your manufacturing team, at the same time automating a bunch of repetitive workflows and networking people along the process. So if you asked me about this idea a few years ago, well, and a lot of people did, right? I've spent many years at AU and various other symposiums thinking about the future of manufacturing. This has all been a great idea. And it makes me proud to be part of an environment and part of a technology company that is doing today in a commercially available solution what we talked about in a few years, just a few short years back. A product like Fusion 360. It presents all of these connect, automate, network, standardization play that all of us has been looking for a long time. So in reality, this is not the future of making things anymore. It's the present. It's here. Okay, so let's take a look at this center silo, this engineer to simulate and where this play is. So let's take a product like Fusion 360. The users have the needed technology available on demand and the ability to collaborate between design, engineering, and manufacturing. They can share data, collaborate with suppliers and service providers, and stay connected throughout the entire development time. So there's no handoff, there's no disappearing data that reappears later if we remember, that kind of stuff. It stays connected, stays networked together. Again, single platform. With a product like Fusion 360, it connects design to manufacturing like nothing else can. So you have a single platform. You take your designs and apply standard or even emerging manufacturing methods like additive manufacturing, and you can quickly deliver the process to the shop floor. The generative design concept is the biggest step forward in connecting design to manufacturing. It's a technology that leverages both physical manufacturing constraints, what do you need the product, how is the product to be used, and create with physical constraints and manufacturing constraints. What equipment do I have to manufacture the part, right? So you got two different kind of constraints you apply, and then let the cloud, let the power of artificial intelligence create hundreds, maybe even thousands of design iterations, stuff that would take untold man hours to do, even with the most sophisticated FEA and engineering standards that are, I don't know, let's do it this way. So last year, right? Our customers use this today, not only to design, but to inspire the way things are going to be built tomorrow. By leveraging technology from these specialty products, and by specialty products, I'm talking about like Feature Cam and Power Mill and Part Maker and some of these other specialty products that are specific to point solutions, we can automate repetitive workflows like hole drilling and nesting, feature recognition. We can also use this automation to enable us to explore all kinds of solutions when it comes to shape and manufacturing processes, like what generative design does, right? By automating these repetitive workflows, customers have more time to focus on innovation and optimize their process, which is exactly what we're after. So if we're going to survive in the future, we must be innovative and we must optimize what we're doing now. So that's exactly the ask, and that's exactly what these technologies address today. So honestly, I'm part of a team that believes that convergence of design and make is already here. Autodesk's investment in technology and our drive to connect those solutions will solve the current and future needs of industry. Our workflows are built to remove the current burden of engineering and manufacturing professionals and provide access to technology in a single, homogeneous, connected, and instant-on platform. So this kind of approach is critical to generate the kind of productivity improvements, the dramatic productivity improvements that are needed to further incentivize and make innovation an ROI. So as your company experiences changes and additional challenges, you'll adapt. You'll need to adapt, and you'll adapt. And as you adapt, we'll be here helping you drive your business forward. In the age of more and better and less, we strive to provide you with solutions to provide you and to produce more products, to provide you with the technology and better performance with less waste. So now we've talked a little bit about what Autodesk is and how they position it, and hopefully built a little confidence that Autodesk is committed to manufacturing. Let's talk a little bit about who we are and how you can help standardize using IMAGINiT. So if you're not familiar with this, we have a specific processes, specific methodologies in place that help us understand your workflows and understand your processes so that we can best position the best technology to suit your goals and objectives, right? It starts with a discovery. We talk about things like optimization by offering you professional services that help that, whether it's consultative or situations where you want to do studies on what your future growth is going to look like and understand best practices from all over the country, all over the world, really. And it doesn't end there. It all ends up with making sure you're productive with training and support and the requirements that you need to make sure that nobody's waiting on answers, right? That those are addressed immediately. And how does that happen? It happens through a whole bunch of push pins all over North America. I like to say this slide illustrates that nobody is isolated. If any one person needs assistance in getting your questions answered in one part of the country, there are a bunch of opportunities for folks in all over North America to make sure that those situations are reviewed and the answers are given in the most specific light, right? So things specific, we have experts all over from the shipyards to agricultural to the oil and gas industry, all kinds of stuff, and all of these can be leveraged all over the place as a best practices standpoint. So nobody is isolated, nobody's on an island. You're not waiting on one person to come up with solutions to your issues. Now, I want to also emphasize that we have a very, very strong relationship with Autodesk directly. We are their leading provider for software products. We are their largest authorized training centers in North America. We also publish, develop, and author all of the courseware from a technology standpoint. So the courseware that's written for understanding and learning the technology is all part of us. That's done through the Ascent sister company of ImagineIT under the RAND umbrella. Our performance is always measured, right? So Autodesk is key on best-in-class integrators to help that technology come into play. And we are very proud to be part of the award-winning top-rated CSAT, customer satisfaction, throughout North America. It's very important to us that we're doing the job that's asked for us and what you need us to do. And that's done through our methodology. So our take aim implementation methodologies and our productivity now support systems that are unmatched throughout the country. So what I do is help lead a team of professionals that does a lot of consulting in different disciplines through all over the place. So data management, implementation tools that allow you to keep track of your data and understand where that data is and the life cycle that's in, as well as BIM management, CFD and FEA simulation and consulting, those types of things, reality capture, all of that kind of stuff is the professional services that ImagineIT offers. We have all sorts of ways to get an education in all of the technology offered by Autodesk, whether it's in person or live online, custom classes, anything like that. Even blended learning, where you do some self-paced stuff and then have an instructor meet with you once a week. All that kind of stuff is all in our portfolio. So Lori has some more information about where you can reach out for additional information on this subject and a bunch of others, but I did want to put up a couple of links that you can go to request especially more information on our maker product and our maker strategy and what we're doing in the manufacturing space. You know where we are in the CAD space, but where are we in the CAM space? So clicking on that link right there, getting to that website right there will take you to our CAM page, and you can request more information. You can watch some videos directly of how the technology works in action, and even if you'd like, apply to get some free technology sent to you so that you can try it and see how it works for you. So Lori, that pretty much wraps me up for today.